The Horror Game Awards. Live, Saturday 14th of December.
Hello everyone, welcome in to the Horror Game Awards 2024 nomination announcement, which I hope we're all excited for. As you can see, my camera is so excited that it's decided not to work properly and go very blurry right now. But so I'm Phil Dickens.
Hello, and I'm Ash Millman.
And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking you through the nominations for all 16 categories of the Horror Game Awards. We've got 12 categories which have been nominated by our jury of 60 content creators. We've got 2 categories which have been nominated by our developer jury, game developers. And we've got 2 categories which have been entirely nominated, and the first round of voting has been done by the public. So all of that adds up to a very stacked awards, I think, with lots and lots of cool games that we get to see and celebrate, because it's been a great year. And I'm just kind of really looking forward to getting everything out there and seeing what people think of the nominations.
Oh, it's a good list. It's a good list. I'm dead excited. It's a beefy lineup, or I don't know what the most horrific word would be. I think beefy's quite horrific, actually. We'll go for it's a beefy lineup.
Yeah, beefy is definitely the word
Meaty.
there. So how this works is that as soon as we've done the announcements, you'll be able to go and vote at thehorrorgameawards.com. And for the 14 categories that have been nominated by our jury, the top 3 votes from the public vote will be the ones that then go back to the jury to decide the winners. And then for the 2 categories that are entirely public voted, whoever you choose is the winner. So we have until Wednesday the 4th to vote from now to get that vote out. And then after that, we'll be choosing the winners, and then the show itself on the 14th, obviously. And we can see exactly what the outcome was.
Yeah, the 14th is set to be an amazing show full of loads of good stuff. So make sure you tune in for it and come and celebrate the Horror Game Awards with us, which is the home of horror celebrations in general. This whole show was designed by Phil and Will to be a massive just appreciation, celebration, thumbs up moment to the genre that gets snubbed so often at award shows. So to have its own special space where all of the weirdos and freaks can come together and say how cool and lovely it is, and to be able to do that for the people that make the games as well is just wonderful. So I'm super excited for us to show you who we've got nominated.
Yep. And on that note, I think if we want to start with the awards, so are we ready to see who's up?
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll start with the Player's Choice Awards. So the nominees are A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Bookshop Roulette, Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit, Mouthwashing, Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, Psychopomp Gold, Silent Hill 2, Scare Ritual, Still Wakes the Deep, and Zoocosis. There we go. That's the Player's Choice Awards. That all of those games were nominated by the public in an original round of voting, and then the top 30 were then whittled down to the 10 that you saw before you, and whatever you vote for will be the winner.
Ooh.
And now, moving on with I'll hand over to Ash for the Best Indie Horror Game nominations.
Let's go. So, A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Beyond Hanwell, Buckshot Roulette, Conscript, Pro Country, Bolmare, Fear the Spotlight, Fears to Fathom Woodbury Getaway, Hollow Body, Home Safety Hotline, Indica, Massacre at the Mirage, Mouthwashing, Panicore, Numata, Slit Ahead, Sniper Killer, Sorry We're Closed, Still Wakes the Deep, The Bridge Curse 2, The Extrication, The Insanity, Witch's Doll, Withering Rooms, Zoocosis. I love that guy. I love his little mouth on the picture.
There we go. And just to mention as well, you'll notice that there were incredible amounts of games up for nomination in that category. We don't whittle them down and just present 6 games that you can choose from. It's up to you guys to vote and choose the top 3, and from that the winners come. But every single game that gets nominated by our jury comes forward, because we want to give every game a chance, and that's a big part of what the Horror Game Awards is about, because indie games in particular have been helping lift up this genre and the horror that we love. So we really want to celebrate it, and we don't want to cut anyone out too early.
Yeah, for sure. And we're very proud of our jury as well. We've got a great selection of people who love the genre, who love the games, who play all the games. And if they even one person puts a game forward, like, they know what they're talking about. It's good stuff. Let's have it in there. So I think it's really nice to be able to have such a mega list for you guys to vote on, to be able to award on the 14th of December.
And with that, let's have a look who our jury have nominated for Best Survival Horror Game. So the nominations start with A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Clock Tower Rewind, Conscript, Crow Country, Fear the Spotlight, Hollow Body, No More Room in Hell 2, Once Human, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, Sons of the Forest, Sorry We're Closed, Still Wakes the Deep, The Bridge Cares 2, The Extrication, The Outlast Trials, Until Dawn.
Woo!
And there we go. That's the Best Survival Horror category. And now the Best Multiplayer Game, which is awarded not just for multiplayers that come out this year, but for anything which has got ongoing live service support. If it's something that the community feels strongly about and nominates, then it's got a chance to wind up here. So over to Ash.
Let's go. Let's take a look at the nominees. We have Buckshot Roulette, Content Warning, Dark Hours, Dead by Daylight, Death in Unison, Devour, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Labyrinthine, Lethal Company, Lockdown Protocol, Murky Divers, Panic in the Woods, Panicore, Phasmophobia, Pilgrim, Sketchy's Contract, Sons of the Forest, The Outlast Trials, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
There we go. The best multiplayer horror game nominations there. And next, we're going to go for the best VR horror games, which is a new category this year. So let's take a look. We start with Five Nights at Freddy's, Help Wanted 2, Forewarned, Madison VR, Metro Awakening, Overdark, Phasmophobia, Resident Evil 4 VR, and there we go.
Nice.
And with that, we're going to move on to the awards that celebrate kind of the people behind the games in terms of putting together the performance and narrative soundtrack, the developers. So we're going to start off with the Best Performance Award. So I will, again, hand over to Ash.
Lovely stuff. So for best performance, we have Alec Newman as Kaz in Still Wakes the Deep. Erica Sanderson as the antagonist in Hollow Body. Gianna Keel as Angela in Silent Hill 2. Grant Corvin as Cliff in While We Wait. Hannah Morrish as Augustine in the casting of Frank Stone. Isabella Inchbold as Indica in Indica. A lot of I words in that one. Jodie Comer as Emily in Alone in the Dark. Luke Roberts as James in Silent Hill 2. Matthew Peretta as Dr. Darling in Alan Wake 2. Rami Malek as Josh in Until Dawn. Salome Gunnarsdottir as Mary/Maria in Silent Hill 2. Sam Lake as Sam Lake in Alan Wake 2 Night Springs. Scott Heining and Danny Carane as Eddie in Silent Hill 2. Sean Dooley as Roy as Still Wakes the Deep. Sky Santa Cruz as Otohime in Otohime. And Vito Z. Holmes as Rambley in Indigo Park.
There we go. Lots of tough choices already that's for people to make. And we're going to keep making them even tougher now because we're going to go to Best Narrative in a Horror Game.
Oh, God.
So the nominees are A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Alan Wake 2, The Lake House, Amanda the Adventurer 2, Bad Parenting 1, Mr. Redface, Clock Tower Rewind, Crow Country, Indica, Lazaret, Mouthwashing, Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, Senua Saga Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, Slay the Princess, The Pristine Cut, Slitterhead, Sorry We're Closed, Still Wakes the Deep, The Casting of Frank Stone, Until Dawn. What have you done, Father?
I haven't done anything, Phil.
I was going to say that last one it did sound less like I was reading a game title and more like asking a question.
What have you done? Oh.
So after that, we go on to the nominees for the best soundtrack. So let's see what games have some absolute bangers that our jury loved. Over to Ash.
So first up for best soundtrack, we have Alan Wake 2, The Lake House, Alone in the Dark, bit of doom jazz, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 Zombies, Clock Tower Rewind, Crow Country, Finding Frankie, Indigo Park Chapter 1, Crimson, Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Mouthwashing, Nightmare Cart, Psychopomp Gold, Reveal, Silent Hill 2, Sketchy's Contract, Slay the Princess, The Pristine Cut, Slit Ahead, Sorry We're Closed, Slit Ahead, Still Wakes the Deep, and Until Dawn.
That may have been my fault if there was the same nomination appeared twice.
Just really nominated that one. It was super nominated.
Yes, that's what happens when you make a lot of lists and put a lot of graphics in loads of different places all at once over the course of like a really contained 48 hours. But it's worth it because there's loads and loads of really great games in all these awards categories that we wanted to celebrate. And
It's just we just throw something in to prove we're doing it live as well, you know.
that's it. That's exactly it. It's like it was a test. But on the subject of celebrating the games and the people who make them, our next two awards are the best indie developer and best developer, and we've got more stacked lists coming up. But this is to celebrate those developers that our jury felt have made the biggest impact in the horror world and the community, and celebrating the love for the games, which I think, given the situation we've had this year and last with the amounts of game developers who've been affected by the state of the industry and layoffs and various things, it's good to celebrate the people who actually make the games, and that's what we wanted to do with this. So that's the spirit of the kind of these awards. So we're going to start with indie developer, again assuming my tech skills haven't failed me. So best indie developer nominees are A La Mode Games, Airdorf Games, Black Tabby Games, Bokeh Studio, Catchweight Studio, Chiller's Art, Cozy Game Pals, Darkstone Digital, Frozen Flame Interactive, Headwear Games, Mike Klubnika, Moonless Formless, Mr. Doctor Knows, N4BA, Puppet Combo, Rail Studios, SFB Games, Soft Star Entertainment, Step Hair Studio, Tainted Pact, The Chinese Room, Unique Geese, Way Forward, and Wrong Organ. And
Ooh.
the best developer nominations, Ash,
Yeah. Are Blooper Team, Bokeh Studio, Capcom, The Chinese Room, GSC Game World, Konami, Metal Star Studio, Mike Klubnika, Ninja Theory, Puppet Combo, Rail Studios, Remedy Entertainment, SFB Games, Supermassive Games, Treyarch, Unique Geese, and Wrong Organ.
there we go. And speaking of developers, the next two awards that we're going to list the nominees for are the awards that have been selected by our developer jury. So we're going to go into the Technical Achievements Award, and this is for games that our developer jury have felt have shown off technical excellence and are not deserving of an award on that basis. So let's take a look. The nominees for the Technical Achievements Award 2024 are A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Alan Wake 2, The Lake House, Crowded, Followed, Fear the Spotlight, Hollow Body, Indica, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Mouthwashing, Silent Hill 2, Slit Ahead, Still Wakes the Deep, and While We Wait Here. And there we go. And the next category is the Lifetime Achievement Award, which is an award for an individual developer who's made a lifetime contribution to the genre that is worthy of celebrating. So Ash is going to give us the many excellent nominees for this category.
So for the Lifetime Achievement Award, we have Adrian Campos, Augustine chords. Benedetto Cocosa. Frederick Raynal. Ikumi Nakamura. Jamie Gavin. Keiichiro Toyama. Kitty Horror Show. Masahiro Ito. Sam Lake. Scott Cawthon. Shinji Mikami. Steve Goss. Thomas Grip.
And there we go. And if you're unsure who any of those are, because unfortunately being a game dev doesn't necessarily always put you in the Rockstar spotlight, on the voting form it does list some of the games that they're best known for, so you can definitely check out more of them. And some of them you might be surprised you already know or have heard of. But yeah, that's the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, it's a good bunch. It's a good bunch.
And now we're going to go into the second entirely public nominated and voted for category, which is Horror Content Creator of the Year. And again, we put out the nominations last month. The top 30 nominations went to the first round of voting, and we now have the top 10 who are here for you to choose the winner from for the Horror Game Awards themselves. And those nominations are 3FS, 8-Bit Ryan, Orkba Soup, Big Gaming 64, Queso, Dorco, IGP, Lena Laser, Manly Badass Hero, Markiplier, and there we go. That category does include some content creators who will be either presenting awards for us or are members of the jury, which is why it was important to us that this was entirely in the public's hands and we had no say of it. Our jury had no say in it, and it was just entirely over to them. But hopefully we'll get some people like what the choices there and we'll do the vote. And I'm rambling, so I'm I'm going to ask Ash to talk about the most accessible horror game category, and then we'll go to the nominees for that.
Wonderful. Let's get to the most accessible game, most accessible horror game, which is a game that has the most accessibility options for people with different needs. So these are the games that are playable by the most players and have been voted on to be the most inclusive of our horror games. So first up, we have A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead, Alan Wake 2: The Lake House, Clock Tower Rewind, Crow Country, Dead by Daylight, Diablo 4. Forgot how to read Roman numerals then. Grun, Mouthwashing, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill, The Short Message. Slay the Princess, The Pristine Cut. Slitterhead. Still Wakes the Deep. The Outlast Trials. Until Dawn. Voices of the Void. So there are our games that have the most accessibility options that are playable by the most amount of horror gamers.
Yes. And we have just 2 categories left to announce the nominees for. So we're going to start with the most anticipated horror game. And these are the horror games that our jury are really looking forward to that have yet to come out. And, well, let's take a look and see what we've got. So, most anticipated horror game nominees include the Alien Isolation sequel, Below, Rusted Gods, Bendy, The Cage, Corpse Party 2, Chronos, The New Dawn, Dark Fracture, Dark Web Streamer, Directive 8020, Doom, The Dark Ages, Holston, Ill, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, Jurassic Park Survival, Little Nightmares 3, Luto, No, I'm Not a Human, OD, Path into the Abyss, Post Trauma, Reanimal, Resident Evil 9, Scarlet Lake, Silent Hill F, Silent Hill Townfall, Subnautica 2, Tenebris Somnia, The Echo Paradox, Tormented Souls 2, We Harvest Shadows.
Oh, there's so many coming. They're all exciting.
Yes, they definitely are. And it's a sign that if you thought this year's awards were stacked, it's going to be the same again next year.
Yeah,
But
it
we are getting
doesn't
ahead
stop.
of ourselves. Let's not talk about 2025 yet. Let's get 2024 out the way. So, the big one.
Ooh, the beefy one. So for horror game of the year, we have A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Bookshop Roulette, Crow Country, Five Nights at Freddy's, Into the Pit, Hollow Body, Home Safety Hotline, Indigo Park, Chapter 1. Mouthwashing. Shipwrecked 64. Silent Hill 2. Slitterhead. Sorry, we're closed. Still Wakes the Deep. The Outlast Trials. And there we have it. Horror Game of the Year, the big one. Those are all of your nominees.
And you can vote now in the Horror Game Awards website, horrorgameawards.com. If you want to go straight to the voting form, horrorgameawards.com/vote. And they will all be laid out for you there to choose your favorites. As mentioned, on the 14 categories that have been nominated by our jury, you choose the top 3, and then from that, that's what the jury have to pick the winner from. And then for the 2 public voted categories, Player's Choice and Horror Content Creator of the Year, whichever nominee wins the vote wins the award.
Ooh, the power's in your hands now, everybody. Please get voting. And we really look forward to seeing you on the 14th of December for when we get to actually award all these wonderful games and creators involved in the horror genre.
Yes, it's going to be a very stacked show and absolutely can't wait. It will also have better production value than this because we did experiment with
What do you mean? This is great.
we did experiment with using Twitch's stream together feature, which is I think the only reason why that my camera has just been blurry the entire time. So that might be a godsend for some people. I don't know, but either way, I hope you've enjoyed it, and we hope that there's plenty of good choices there for people for this year. And if you've not played a lot of these games, definitely look them up and check them out, because horror games, really good horror games, are not in short supply at the moment. So there we go.
Just the shortlist is 100% a must play list. So enjoy and stay spooky.
Yes. And with that, one final thank you to our mods on Twitch and YouTube, and also to everyone who's watched and everyone who has helped make the Horror Game Awards what it is, not only now, but over the past couple of years. So we hope to see you at the show itself, again, live on the 14th of December. And until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye.